What's up, and welcome to Unspoken Conversations. I'm James Crow, and here we talk about issues and situations that are in plain sight. Things that people hate to talk about, but it needs to be said, from relationships, families, friends, and life. Our goal is to shed light and understanding so that just maybe we can start to rebuild relationships, families, and ultimately, our communities. What's up, guys, and welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to talk about what beauty does to both men and women. And I'm going to show a video so I can have a point of reference. But just follow along and pay attention, and then I'll talk about it afterwards.
Hello everyone, welcome to another video from the Models Biography YouTube channel, where simply appreciating all the models from all over the world. If this is your first time here, please be sure to subscribe and like this video for more videos of the best models from all over the world. In this episode, we will introduce you to this beautiful model, Amira Akkar, Instagram model and influencer who inspiring millions. Let's explore her journey. Stay tuned, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting stories. Amira Dami, also called Ika Queen, is a famous Instagram model. She has 4.5 million followers as of 2024. Amira is known for her gorgeous looks, as figure, and confident personality. Born in Germany, Amir started her Instagram journey by sharing photos of her outfits and fun moments with friends. Her splish quickly grabbed attention. Fun loved her for promoting body positivity and self-love. By 2024, she had posted 110 times each post, showing her unique style and charm. Amir doesn't just a model, she's a role model. She inspires people to embrace their natural beauty and chase the ear dreams, from fashion shows to inspiring captions and Instagram muse of storybook full of confidence and elegance. Amira's proof that being yourself can shine brighter than anything else. Amira is slaying the game and proving that body comes in all shapes and sizes. Hit that like button if you inspired, and subscribe for more incredible stories. See you in the next video. Bye.
So that woman is amazingly attractive. And don't get me wrong, of course there's going to always be men who don't feel that certain things are attractive and certain women are attractive. But that's besides the point. That's not what I'm talking about. You have to keep in mind that everybody's beauty ain't somebody else's beauty. So yes, of course. But my point is, when the woman is extremely beautiful, you have to understand that it can be a cage, it can be a curse, or it can be a good thing, depending on the woman. The problem is that a lot of women will turn beauty into power, and a lot of women will abuse power. That's a bad thing. That is a very bad thing. So on that end, you have a woman who understands her beauty and will abuse her authority, abuse her power. You have a guy, on the other hand, who will do anything for that woman. So this woman will do anything for the power, destroy a man, destroy another woman, destroy other lives, don't care about the consequences, because her beauty is going to bring her attention. I don't want to go too much into this because I have another video that I want to show, but I'm just trying to make a point based on a woman, and I'm not talking about that specific woman. I don't know her. She's a gorgeous person. What I'm saying is when a woman understands her beauty, she can take advantage of her authority, advantage of power, and she can put a man in a cage. That's what I'm talking about. And a man who don't identify this will fall victim to this cage, fall into this cage and can't get out. And he will do anything for the woman, and in the end, she'll be taking advantage of him because she has power. The power is she has all these men at her beck and call, all these men in her inbox and all this stuff. She can choose whoever she wants. And if the man don't identify, be careful what you do for this woman, because she may not be worth it. He can fall victim to a very nasty game. That is my point. That's my point. The woman, a lot of women will do anything for beauty. Anything for beauty. Think about it: the lip fillers, the eye fillers, the surgeries, the BBLs. A lot of women will do crazy shit for beauty and attention. Men don't do the same thing for beauty and attention. Men will do crazy things for that beautiful woman. So one's chasing beauty, the other one's chasing the beautiful woman. Think about that. When you really sit back and think about that, you should be able to understand just how dangerous this game can be. That's not always good. That's not always good. But follow me. I got another one to show you.
So with my line of work, a lot of my clients are men, and I would find that majority of men tend to have the same problem. They are all tending to have a woman that's disrespectful, a woman that may be unfaithful, or a woman that may be using them financially. Now, if this seems to be the problem you're facing, and if this seems to be a reoccurring theme with all the women that you date, they seem to be, you always find yourself getting cheated on, you always find yourself getting used, you always find yourself getting disrespected. I'm going to give you the reasons why this is happening to you and then how to prevent this from reoccurring. So stay tuned. Now, the reality is a lot of men will say, she lied to me in the beginning, she was so good, she lied to me, she lied to me, she lied to me. Women never, ever, ever lie. Never do they lie. They might not say the truth, but they always show you the truth.
Now that I have to completely agree with. I have to agree with. Women do lie. Women lie, but they lie differently. So that's a long path we can go down. But when women lie, a man who understands how a woman lies and understands what women do, what some women do, if they've been through this shit before, they'll understand certain things are red flags. You don't have to listen to the lie. You have to pay attention to the red flags. And the red flags will tell you what is a lie and what is a truth, because women don't always lie with their words. You have to understand that. A woman can tell a lie in her actions. Her actions. Like she can say this and be doing this and add this. And if you don't understand what it looks like, you just fell victim to, you know what? Let's get back into this.
Every woman that you've been with that has hurt you, used you, cheated on you, stolen from you, whatever it is, she showed you her red flags from day one. You chose to ignore them. You chose to ignore them. This is what women will do. They meet a man and they'll basically show their red flags in not so clear ways. So they might show it simply by how she dresses. And she might show you that she might be provocative, or she might show you with her sexual behavior. She might be very sexually liberal. She might show you in terms of how she talks about her exes. She might say that, oh, this guy was so toxic, this guy was so this, that, I'm still in love with this guy, whatever it is. She shows you some of her traits. She might show you through how she is as a parent. She might not have kids and not prioritize them, or she may have denied another man access to the children. And you think you're going to be captain stepdad and you're going to save the day. But the reality is she showed you that she denies men access to the children if she doesn't like them.
And you chose to ignore all those signs. Most men choose to ignore all those signs. Every single one of those. And what she said is a fucking sign. And if you choose to ignore even one of them, you did it to yourself. Men do the same thing, but this is not about men. I know there's going to be some women that say, well, men do this and men do this and men do this. You're completely dismissing the point here. The point is the point. We're talking about she's talking about women. She's not talking about men. So yes, your argument may be perfectly fine and right, but we're not talking about that. Stay on track. Everything she said make perfect sense, because you have to have gone through some shit at some point in order to be able to understand exactly what she's talking about. Some of this shit is so real that more than I would say the majority of men that I've been around and dealt with, like talked to, have gone through some of that shit right there, and they failed to identify the red flags. I did the same thing before my first kid was born. I did the first thing going into my marriage. I did that same thing going into relationships with other women. I know what that looks like. I've done it myself. So it is what it is, but in order to, you have to identify it. You have to see what it is, see it for what it is, see it for what it is. Don't get mad about it. Just be able to identify the red flags, back up and say, when a woman is doing this, this, and this, I refuse to deal with it. I refuse to deal with it. Too many of us men, we get trapped into trying to Captain Save a Hoe We want to make her our queen. We want to be the knight in shining armor for a woman who doesn't deserve it. And that's the thing with beauty. The woman can be extremely beautiful, and the man will go above and beyond because he feels like she is that trophy. She's that top thing. She's the very best thing that ever happened to him. And I don't care how beautiful she is. I don't care how great her sex is or how good her oral sex is. I don't care how good none of that is. If she has a flaw and she needs the attention, your attention will never be enough. It'll never be enough. And she will use manipulative tactics to lure you in and take advantage of you. So you have to be able to identify those red flags. And any man who can identify the red flags hasn't gone through enough bullshit to be able to see that this one too is just like some of the other ones who played the same game. Now, all women don't do this, but I'm talking about the beautiful women who do. That's what I'm talking about. So follow along.
And you think you're going to be immune to that behavior?
No.
Not possible. So these women always, and myself included, we show men all of our red flags. Now we pick the man that allows us to get away with the most nonsense.
Notice she even included herself. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. For a woman to be able to acknowledge her sense of power and the fact that she can see it, she acknowledges it. To me, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But at the same time, you're sitting here, you have the same woman who can identify what she's capable of. She can identify that. And she can give us that same type of advice, that type of knowledge and wisdom. She can give us that, right? And you got the same woman telling us the game, us men, the game, telling other women that we see your game, that she sees y'all's game. That tells a lot about the woman, this woman right here. Doesn't matter what her background is. Doesn't matter who she is, but I'm saying it tells a lot about who she is. Just pay attention to that.
Now, if you don't have many red flags as a woman, what will happen is you attract a man with really clear boundaries. What will happen is a man with boundaries can only be with a woman who doesn't have many red flags because they're a perfect match. She doesn't do too much. He doesn't tolerate too much. They work really well. But a woman filled with red flags will only select a man who's filled with low self-esteem. She will find the man who doesn't know how to exert his boundaries, doesn't know how to look for red flags, and doesn't know how to stand up for himself. That's the man she will select. So if you are a man with really low self-esteem and really value the connection more than the respect that she's giving you, you are going to find yourself constantly manipulated, cheated on, and disrespected by women. So this.
And the crazy part about that is that she's 100% right. She's 100% right. I know too many men in a situation where they let disrespectful women say what they want, when they want, in front of whoever they want, and they allow the bad behavior. A man can't disrespect a woman and yell at her and fuss at her and grab her in order to fix this situation. In order to fix that situation, you have to withdraw. It is the only way. You have to withdraw from her, remove yourself from that disrespect, and she will, one of two things will happen. She'll either understand, she'll get it, she'll fix her situation here, or she won't even care. She'll move on and do that shit to find somebody who she can do that to. That's one of the two. But you have to understand what comes with that. And if a man ain't willing to let her go, he's going to continue to deal with the same shit she's talking about. And that's the problem. Again, going right back to what I said about beauty, the man who accepts a woman for her beauty most likely will put up with all of her nonsense simply because she's beautiful. To me, that's nonsense. To me, that's crazy. I'm not doing that. I don't care how beautiful you are. I don't care how fine you are and how good your sex is. I'm not finna put up with nonsense because you think you're top shit. There's a million more other ones just like you, and not all of them are gonna have that same type of nasty attitude. I refuse. So take heed. Take heed.
This is how she knows. Firstly, how a woman spots a man with low self-esteem is he seems to be super impressed with her beauty. Mm-hmm. When a man is so impressed by a woman's physical beauty, she starts to have a power over him.
Yes.
The most beautiful woman in the world will get in line for a man who's not that attractive if he's not that impressed by her appearance. But a woman who's not that attractive will will become disrespectful and push boundaries with a man who is in awe of her beauty because she sees it as a power play.
Fellas, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Whoo, that was gold. That's powerful. So, if you haven't seen this, you need to understand that woman with that mouth, she's gonna push. She's gonna push. It's up to you. It's up to you to take that power back. I don't care what you look like as a dude. I don't care what you look like. You can be big, you can be small, you can be short, you can be tall. Doesn't matter. If you got your shit together, if you got your shit, you ain't even gotta have your shit together, but I ain't talking about the ones that don't. If you have your shit together and you allow some fuckery from a woman who thinks she's all that, even if she don't think she's all that, but she got a nasty ass mouth and attitude, she can be manipulative, she can be condescending. If you deal with a woman like that and you allow her to be like that, that is your fucking fault. You did that. You put yourself there and you let her get that much power over you. And it's not even about her having power over you or you having power over her. It's not about that. It's about the fact that no person should have power over another person. That's my point. So if you let your woman have power over you because you're so into her beauty, you did that. This is what you get. You paid for this. This is what you get. You paid with the attention that you gave her. Like she just said, you're so stuck on her beauty, you're willing to allow her to talk and be disrespectful like this. You paid for it. You paid for it. What you paid is completely up to you because all men ain't gonna pay that. I'm not paying that shit. I'm not paying that. Move around. I don't care who you are. It's just not worth it.
So when you are with a woman, and if you don't have a lot of experience with beautiful women, and you haven't been around a lot of women, well, women smell that off you very quickly. And then they learn that they can push your boundaries.
Yes.
And they learn that maybe they can disrespect you, maybe they can cheat on you, but you're not going to go anywhere because she knows you can't do any better looks-wise. That's how we know a man's got low self-esteem. Whereas when a woman acts like her looks are great, he's very attracted to her, she's very beautiful, but they are not the glue for the relationship. He's not going to stay with her purely based on looks. Then she learns to respect him more.
Exactly.
She learns that she has to bring something other than appearance and other than sex in order to keep this man. But when she learns that her appearance is the only thing he needs, after every fight, after every disrespect, she knows that she can simply use her beauty to get back in his good books, and it is light work for her. She doesn't even have to try. So that's the first signal. Another signal that you've got low self-esteem is you don't set boundaries. Now, what I mean...
Ooh. In one of my episodes, I talk about boundaries. But I didn't go deep into what I meant by boundaries. I need to do another episode on boundaries itself because a lot of people don't have boundaries. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous. So when a man doesn't set boundaries in his relationship, he ends up with a woman who is willing to walk all over him. She's willing to say things. Now, here's the crazy thing about that. There are some men who likes when a woman has a sassy ass mouth, but there's a difference between having a sassy ass mouth and having a disrespectful ass mouth. They're different. They're not the same. If you allow your woman to be disrespectful because you think it's cute, you have no idea what you're setting up. You have no idea what you're doing. The same things that make you laugh will make you cry. And you have to understand that. One day, her talking shit and her being snappy and fussy, even though you thought it was cute, one day that's going to be returned back to you. And you ain't going to know how to stop it. You ain't going to know how to shut it up. You're not going to know how to put it behind you because you gave her the power. You can't now take it away. It is no different than giving a toddler every single thing that they ask for. Every single thing that they ask for. You never tell them no. You allow them to step and stomp and jump all over your couches and your beds and right on your walls and smack on your TV until it falls over. And you just don't do that, stop it. You kind of think it's cute, cussing and yelling and talking crazy to the neighbors and throwing rocks off the patio. Neighbor kids. If you allow that with a toddler, it's only a matter of time before you try to put a stop to it or slow it down or change it, and it backfires on you. Why? Because you allowed it. And if you can do it with a toddler, you can also do it with a woman. You can put her in a position to not listen to your authority. Don't get stuck on the word authority, ladies, and some of you dudes. Don't get stuck on the word authority. Just understand what I'm saying. If you're the man, You're supposed to have your boundaries. That's what I mean. If you have your boundaries, you're the one in authority of your boundaries. If you don't set boundaries and you allow this woman to come in and step on your boundaries, you are no longer in authority of your boundaries. That's what I was talking about. So if that's what you do, understand you did that. Back to what she was saying.
What I mean by that is she's done something disrespectful. You've seen it as disrespectful, but you're afraid to say it. And you don't say it. You want to keep the peace. Now, men who desire and focus on keeping the peace at the expense of keeping the respect are always going to lose that woman. I'm not saying you scream and shout at her when she does something wrong. That's definitely not what I'm suggesting. But what I'm suggesting is you let it be known that this behavior is something you're uncomfortable with. And you let it be known. And now if she continues to break that boundary after you've communicated it again and again and again, you don't keep repeating yourself. You remove yourself. Instead of repeating yourself and like holding her by the throat and trying to get her to understand and respect you, you simply respect yourself and you leave.
See, you know how many times I've told people, don't argue. Don't try to stress your point over and over and over. You said it once, you said it twice. If you said it twice, you've already said it too many times. So now it's time to come up with a decision. And sometimes it may take you 3 to 7 days to decide your decision. And that's either to stay or to go. I'm not telling a person to leave, but I'm also not telling you to stay. What I'm saying is you need to come up with a decision whether or not you're going to stay or go, whether you're going to deal with this or not. Because a person who will disrespect you will do it more and more. They'll do it again and again and again. You have to be the one to stop it. And you don't stop it by stopping them. You stop it by disconnecting. You don't make them do anything. You don't make them do a damn thing. You do what you're going to do. You move around the way you're going to move around. And they have to follow suit. If they come back and they apologize and they get their shit together because you set boundaries and they realize they stepped on your boundaries and you're not going for it, they will change. And if they don't change, they weren't meant for you. Allow them to move around and go do that somewhere else, which is perfectly fine. That's cool. You just have to allow them to be that way.
And if she sees that you can't respect yourself enough and you can't leave her, you've already lost her. She knows you're not going anywhere and she'll never respect you again.
Absolutely.
And she'll know that the next boundary, the next fight, she can take it further.
Absolutely.
But if she learns that when she crosses your boundaries, you withdraw yourself, she starts to get in line. Now, a mistake a lot of men do is when a woman crosses their boundaries, maybe she's cheated on them, maybe she's disrespected them, this, that, and the other, something's happened.
They take her back.
Instead of exerting their boundaries, they reward that behavior. They might then beg her to stay, or they might buy her something. They might reward the bad behavior. So she learns that, oh God, I can cheat on you, you still pay my bills, or I can disrespect you and you still turn up at my work to say sorry. This is crazy. I didn't know it was this easy. So,
fellas, does that not sound like a problem? Does that not sound like a problem? Do you not understand that? I don't know what other words to use other than it is crazy work when you can allow that. If there's no way I can allow a person to not only cheat on me, but to then be disrespectful about it, to act as if it was my fault, and then not only act as if it was my fault, demand me to stay, demand me. That's a whole lot of extra. There's no way. If I choose to stay, that's on me. I can be foolish. I can be smart. It depends on what's going on. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's not what we're talking about. It is completely up to me. If I stay and I allow her to do this, I have to understand that most likely it's going to happen again, because she either did it because I'm not giving her the time and attention and everything she needs, so she stepped out to get that shit elsewhere. I'm not saying it's good, but I understand it. Or she's just like that. She's just selfish and she needs to get it. Now, I need to be able to identify which is which in my woman. And if I allow it, if she does it and I understand that this is who she is, she's just that type of person, I need to understand that it's time for me to withdraw. And if I don't, it's going to keep happening because this is just who she is. You know what I mean? Dog's going to always lift their leg to pee on a tree. A dog's going to always lift their leg to pee on anything. Why? It is who it is. You can't get mad every time they lift their leg and pee on your furniture. You have to understand this dog is meant for outside. It's as simple as that. And I'm not calling a woman a dog for some of you ladies and some of you fellas who's going to think that I'm comparing. I'm not comparing. That was an analogy. Go fuck yourself if you don't understand the difference. Back to what she was saying.
So she starts to disrespect you even more. You don't have boundaries, yeah? And you reward that. Now, where this is coming from and how you know where this is coming from is chances are there was some inconsistent love in your childhood. If you're a man who has problem with women and they don't seem to be respecting you, you can't exert your boundaries, whatever it is, chances are when you were growing up, you had a mother or a mother figure that either didn't give enough love or was inconsistent with love or didn't allow you to be yourself. One of those things. So because you didn't receive unconditional support and love from a woman growing up, you seem to think having to earn love and beg a woman to respect you and beg a woman to love you and trying to buy her love is a form of attachment. It's just how it should be. You don't know what the other side looks like. You don't know what it looks like to have a woman that says, are you hungry? Do you want to eat something? How can I help? Or did that upset you? I'm so sorry. Let me take that back. You don't know what that looks like because you didn't experience it in your childhood.
And that is right. That is right. A lot of men have no idea what that looks like. A lot of men have no idea what it feels like for a woman to take accountability and be able to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to say that. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Did I upset you? That's not what I meant by that. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't know why I get like that sometimes, or I don't know why I say some things like that. I hope you know that I don't mean to. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about way later, days later. I'm talking about the moment she identifies that I was bogus. She can come to you and she can say, babe, that's not what I meant. I know I messed up. I didn't mean to yell. I'm sorry. I was dealing with this, or I was emotional. I was a woman who can come to you and say that out the gate, or straight out the gate. She understands that she has flaws and she understands that she fucks up and she tries to fix it. She just lets her emotions at that very second get the best of her. And when she can come to you just a few minutes later, not days, not hours, but a few minutes later, and she can say, I'm sorry, I apologize. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean to come at you like that. That was me. That was me. That wasn't you. You didn't do anything. That was me. That woman might be a keeper. You just may need to help her and work with her to give her a little bit of training. And if you're a good man, you'll be able to do that without belittling her or making her feel like she's at fault. You can help, you can work with her, but you have to put in the work. If this is not the case, bruh, most likely you got the wrong woman or you ain't the right man for the job. Simple as that. Some of y'all ain't gonna like that, but it is what it is.
And as a result, you go into adulthood looking for and accepting unacceptable behavior. So you have to just spot that pattern in yourself and break that habit. Otherwise, what will happen is in your desperate attempt to keep this woman, you've already lost her.
Yep.
And you're going to keep losing her in more and more disrespectful ways. It will get worse. It won't get better. So if you
Exactly. And I've said that numerous times before. It is beyond me how many men, especially, both ways. It happens both ways. But again, we're talking about this scenario that she's talking about. It is beyond me how many men will go above and beyond trying to make their relationship work. Try to make it work for a woman who's already withdrawn. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand what you look like? There's a reason that so many women say men are controlling. That man is controlling. He's too controlling, and I don't want to deal with somebody who's controlling. Oh, he's insecure. He doesn't like me to do this, or this. He doesn't let me go here, or there. A man who can identify when his woman is up to no good or on bullshit, he is going to have something to say. Even I would have something to say. I am not going to keep sitting here warning you and telling you what I don't like. I'm going to tell you one time, I don't like that. If you keep doing what you're doing, bet you don't care about how I feel. And I'm going to put an end to what we got going on. That's simply me. I'm not going to chase behind you. I'm not going to tell you what I don't like numerous times. I'm not going to pop up where you are. I'm not going to ask you no million questions. I'm not doing none of that shit to you fucking dudes who put that much time and attention into this woman who's already withdrawn. You have no idea what it makes you look like. And every time she tells one of her friends or a guy friend at work or a person over here or a person over there or even a counselor that you're all crammed up her ass, that you're telling her this, you're saying that, you talk to her like this, you talk to her like that, she's not even wrong. She's not wrong. Why? Because you're trying to control her into doing what you think she should be doing. You might be right. You don't want her out here in the streets. You don't want her out here sleeping with such and such and doing such and such. You might be 100% right. But when you try to make her do it by using your words to make her look at herself some type of way, you don't do yourself any justice. And what you really do is you give her more power and ammunition to tell other people what you look like. So when that woman says, he gets in my face and he yells at me, you might not be right in her face and you might not be yelling, but her feelings and emotion makes her feel like you're right in her face and yelling. Therefore, she's not wrong. You don't understand that? Stop that shit. Get the fuck out of her face. Stop telling her what to do. Let that woman live her life. If she wants to get out there and play those games, set boundaries and move around. And that simply looks like this. Oh, so you don't want to come home till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, huh? I get it. Would you be upset if I did the same thing? She's going to have to answer one way or another. She's going to have to answer. Regardless of what her answer is, say, all right. So just so you know, look, here's me. I'm just going to tell you who I am. I don't date women who can go out and spend all night long out with their friends, come home drunk, and you don't even know where you've been for the last 3 hours that the club's been closed. I don't date women like that. She's going to say whatever she has to say, but after you say that, your boundary has been spoken. You just need to stand on it. So from whatever happens there, you just need to decide whether you're going to come, whether you're going to stay or leave. Now, there's going to be some people that say, I don't want to break up my home. I don't want to do this. And I don't know what she was out there doing. That's besides the point. By allowing her to do it this time, you open the door for it to be another time. And if you open the door for it to be another time, it's only a matter of time before one of them nights she don't come home, or when she does come home, she smells like something and you don't like the smell of it. And now you got a different argument. And why would you even argue? You know what it is. You see what it is. You let that door stay open. You should have closed it in the beginning. You did that. So take heed of that, fellas. Don't allow that shit. Don't allow that shit. You set your boundaries and stand on them.
If you have this mentality like, oh, my partner's going to change, she's just a bit traumatized, she's just a bit this. I'm not saying don't forgive people. But what I am saying is have your boundaries, and there's repercussions for crossing your boundaries rather than rewards for being disrespectful. Now, if you can bear that in mind, chances are you'll be able to attract and secure not only a better value woman, but you will become a better value man if you follow those steps.
Man, she's 100% right. She's 100% right. I hope y'all got something from this video. I hope y'all took something from it, because all too often I see this all over the place. I see men withdrawing from women because they think she's disrespectful, but only with her mouth. They don't understand that they've opened this door. They've allowed this shit. A lot of men don't understand that they've created this monster. You helped build this by allowing shit that you shouldn't have allowed in the beginning. It is what it is. I did it also. I did it. I made the same mistake, but I learned from it. I'll never do that shit again. I did it multiple times with different women, but I learned a fucking lesson. And I understood that boundaries keeps me safe. And when they get out of line, when they get outside those boundaries, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I can disconnect, and I can easily disconnect when I understand that the person who I'm dealing with is not worthy of the time and value that I'm willing to put into this. It's not worth it. So, fellas, I hope that makes sense. Ladies, to those of you listening, I hope it makes sense to you too. And if you're beautiful, if you're a beautiful woman, I hope you don't use your beauty as power to put down someone else. I hope you don't use your beauty as power to manipulate a man and sucking him in and doing whatever the fuck you want to do just because you think this man has to deal with you. You know what I mean? I hope you don't take your power and you use it, your beauty, and use it as power. Yes, It does give you power, because out there's a man who's willing to fight and degrade other men, go to war, fight, and even kill over a beautiful woman. And I don't always mean beauty here. Sometimes it's beauty in the body. Sometimes it's not even, you know what? That's besides the point. I think you got what I'm saying. So yeah, beauty is a dangerous thing. It is a dangerous thing when in the hands of a woman. But beauty is also a dangerous thing in the hands of a woman to a man who's willing to put up crazy work for that woman. So understand and identify who you are, whether it's this way or that way. And again, it's not to put anybody down. It's just to draw attention to certain aspects. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
They are so full of the cap, man. I can't take it, need to break it. If they ain't got it, you know they gon' fake it.